All right. May I request people to just settle down so that we can start this conversation. And we have the audience, a lot of students here, law schools, and on this side, people who are from the practical side, who have crossed over, found their ways in-house. So let me stick to, the basic questions, starting maybe with the ladies first. Mirul, with you first. How have you, when you see the legal education system and you see the in-house careers, do you think they are being trained enough and they are getting ready enough to enter this? Is there any big gap, any big concern that you see that needs to be addressed?
Thank you for the first opportunity. I'll be seeking from the first-hand experience. When I stepped out of law school, I had no idea what the in-house legal practice is all about. And after so many years of experience and being into education for good 7-8 years now, the situation hasn't changed. So I'm not very happy to make that comment, but yes, in fact, I'm taking this opportunity that being into education sector and advising them as an in-house, there is a lot that we need to do, make student and legal education industry ready as we speak. And we don't have to look far to take examples or inspirations. Say our professions which are quite competitive and you can say very complementary like CA and CS, most of the students, they hit the ground running. And that is something that we need to achieve in legal profession as well. And in last, 3 panel discussion, I don't want to repeat that we are far lagging in that area. So there's a lot needs to be done. In the first session, Justice mentioned that along with the legal skill, we also need to train professionals for the people skill, the business skill, and the communication skills. So if we want to make lost students and legal professions industry ready, there is a complete overhaul in the legal education that is warranted. I would make that candid, you can say, confession from the industry. We have a very clear demand and supply ratio where the in-house are looking for lawyers who can fit into their scheme of things, and there are law students who are looking for placements or their, you can say, professional ahead.
Right.
So yes, there is a lot that needs to be done.
All right. Dr. Prasad, your initial comment on this, do we have enough training? Do we have the quality training at the education institution level, for making in-house careers?
My first reaction is, so when I studied law, this was in the 90s, till now, I think there has been a sea change. And I should admit, the kind of institutions now, what we have today, it's a far change from what used to be earlier. But the point is whether that is enough. So we have the national law universities. We have now the private institutions who have come up with, in a very big way. They have really transformed the way the law is taught. But the question is, the first question, I want to come back to is general counsel or an in-house counsel. Today, in-house counsel is not even recognized as a lawyer, because the Advocate Act doesn't recognize in-house counsel as a lawyer. So whatever we have been hearing in the past 2 sessions, we were only talking about advocates. We were not even talking about general counsels. So if a general counsel does not exist in the eyes of law in India, how will the legal education look into the aspects of a general counsel? So I think we have to fix the problem first. First, recognize the general counsel as an advocate or a solicitor, and then think about what should be the ingredients of becoming a successful in-house counsel. In my own experience, I think we should not blame what is not there. The institutions will do, because institutions will also follow a process of the Ministry of Education. They will mandate, the Ministry of Law will mandate what the course should be. But for each one of us, is there an obstacle today? It never existed in my time. Why should they be an obstacle for you? If I was able to still do 11 degrees and try my best to enhance my professional capability, today situation is much better for all of you. Today you can go to any part of the world to achieve your dream. And that is what I would say, that if you have to become a successful lawyer, don't only think about a lawyer, you have to think about being a problem solver. How do you become a good problem solver for your client is the most important thing. For which you have to think what are the skills that you need. Somebody said communication, somebody said something. But I think there cannot be a template. There should not be a template. I think from the feedback that you get every day from your client should be a wake-up call for you. For instance, I was said many times when I was working for Modi Xerox, which was a joint venture, people used to say, and I then left Modi Xerox, I came to Electrolux. When it came about assessing my capability, so the Electrolux organization said, you are not a lawyer in UK, you are not a lawyer in US, they are paid more. So that was a wake-up call for me. So I said, now I should learn what is in UK, what is in US. And today nobody tells me that. Today they say, our global practices, you are being paid what a US lawyer is being paid, you are being paid what a UK lawyer is being paid. So for me, that was a wake-up call. What is it that I need to do? Whether a law college is teaching that or not teaching that should not be an innovation. You have to introspect, make a resolution every year that this is what I want to change in myself, and that is the scope of education that you should pursue. Let's not say that what law is not teaching, law schools are not teaching, what you want to become is more important for me.
You want to add?
I want to add to what Akhil has just mentioned is, yes, in-house lawyering require more of self-learning, and that is why there is a gap of a continuous legal education that is missing in legal fraternity. Lawyer is all about, experiencing and exploring. So if after 5 years or if after a decade, if there are new area of law which has come in, or there is a new industry that is coming, there has to be a systematic, you can say, opportunity available where lawyers can upskill themselves. So yes, I think this is also a responsibility of universities and the institutions who are into legal education to fill this gap.
Right. I think constant learning beyond your degree, I think that's what you essentially mean. Debosmita, I want to come, I hope I'm pronouncing it right? Yeah. Your initial view on when you look at the kind of education being offered, is it enough to develop industry-specific skills, especially when it comes to careers in-house?
So I have a slightly different view. I believe that in a law school, what the students should learn are the first principles of law, the basic tenets of being a lawyer, and it's very important that they undergo an academic rigor. I do not believe that students need to know any practical skill or anything, at least in the initial stage. I also believe that, in the 5-year law course, especially which I went through, we were taught a lot of subjects, which ultimately, finally did not really benefit most of us. Very esoteric, very, very niche. And the best way, and when I first joined my profession, of course, I felt very inadequate, which all of us would have felt in the first day. But I believe that's a gap on the of expectation on the industry side. A law firm or any company who should not expect a fresher graduate to be like a full-fledged, expert lawyer, because the legal profession, we are always learning on the job. I'm still learning. We all are. Every day we all learn, we all grow. So the student who has come out from a law school, if his basics are very clear, if he is very, very skilled in the research and those basic lawyer skills, he will shine. Whether he tomorrow goes to a law firm or to an in-house career, it will not matter. what is, I believe, would have helped me, or I mean, all of us here, might have been a long internship, and it's it's ingrained and it's in the systemized internship program, where the BCI mandates say the law schools mandatorily 1 year, like 4 years you teach the law and 1 year you just let the student intern, because students also are not sure as to where they want to work, because I believe there's a lot of focus on pursuing a career in the corporate law. And when I ask the student, what do you mean by corporate law? Nobody really knows what is corporate law, right? Is it Companies Act? Is it what? Is it, I mean, it's a huge, vast area. And I believe students are also not exposed to everything. There's a legal education opens up a plethora of opportunities, and not all of them are law, as lawyers, right? And if you, I mean, so that's where I believe a little bit of a reorientation of the education might work. And the best way is, of course, I believe there is now a system of inviting practitioners to teach, but that is also, I mean, fledgling, or it's not very popular.
Right.
Mainly because like West, in India, practitioners in the West, the professionals, they can go back to teach a semester and then go back to their own profession, and there is no problem. But here in India, that's not really the case. No practitioner is going to spend a lot of time maybe teaching, but that's all that is needed. Yes, and any specific skill about in-house, they are also lawyers. Any basic skill, whenever one joins a company, they learn, they observe, and beyond the basic, good communication skill, written communication skills, a little bit of a mindset to adapt to the changing, business industry perspective. I don't think anything more is required.
Wonderful. Utkarsh, your take on what can improve on the education side? How can they prepare better for this career?
Right. So I think we have had discussions, and we have seen that everyone, I mean, from DC's perspective, our honorable judge, in-house counsels, everyone, I think we are on the same page that, yes, we need certain reforms. But I also agree with Debosmita that the academic rigor which a college gives is very important, and that is something which needs to continue. Yes, there are certain practical trainings which are obviously which will be advantages to the students. I think we as people from the industry should also participate more. I think internships generally has been a great way of doing that. But at the same time, I think even from a student's perspective, and some couple of years back, since I was running a edtech platform, so I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of students. So there is, I saw that there is a mindset that within the 4th or the 5th year, they are trying to streamline on a practice area or a niche which they are planning to do. Again, my personal opinion, and this is something which a lot of practitioners would agree now. I think in your college life, and maybe I would say in the first 5 or 10 years of your career, keep a very open mind. Our profession has evolved a lot. When we say industry specific, there are a lot of new industries to explore today. Say, so I work in CAM. Now, 10-15 years back, CAM did not had specialized practice areas like project finance or funds, or IBC has come up, so we have a different insolvency team now. Previously, it was just bracketed, say, under a litigation or a corporate practice. So there is a lot of new practice area industries which are there to explore. The easiest way to explore is get into the industry through internships, if that is possible. If not, after college, get placements in different industries. See what is suiting you. Say, when we call, say, in-house perspective. Now, even in-house is a very different niche or a skill-based lawyer, what you become. Typically, as a college student, you can't experience what you are really expected out of an in-house counsel. But say, if you give that extra 5-10 years of your career to say, work in a company and maybe in a firm as a practitioner, etc., you would get that what interests you, because the way you work, what you work is very different in all these different, career path. So, yeah, I think even from a student perspective, you can think more about it.
Do we have any in-house questions for the in-house experts? That's your chance. I have only one chance to give you a question. Anyone here? Come on, law students, come on. No? All right. Okay, let's show them the other way. Mirul, tell them what are the big opportunities in the in-house career, that they can be excited about, and what are the challenges also in this?
Thank you for that specific questions, because challenges are the place where you get the best of the opportunities. So yes, as it is an admitted fact that the law schools or the legal education doesn't teach anything about the in-house. So when you are thrown into the pool of this in-house practice or in-house lawyers, or have an opportunity to work in a corporate setup where you will simply feel lost for initial couple of months, that is where the opportunity lies to pick up those skills which is required for an in-house lawyers. And in the morning, Justice has mentioned the importance of the soft skills and the communication skills. I would like to add a point that if you are planning if you are planning to take up in-house role, or even if you are not planning, it is worth spending couple of months in your initial months or initial couple of years of your profession to understand the business and operations in general. It is more to do like a skill that an MBA grad develops. Yes, we do have a specialization like MBA in HR or a finance or investment, but yes, there are certain general skill sets such as understanding the operational aspect, understanding the regulatory landscape is going to be very, very important if you are planning to go in-house. Because in India, the regulatory landscape is ever changing. From license Raj to liberal economy, and now we are into self-regulatory, you can say, season. So if you are planning to go in-house, please pay attention to the regulatory aspect and operational aspect. You may choose your field, or you will have your liking, like somebody like manufacturing, somebody will like mines and minerals, or a fintech or an ad tech. Yes, legal education will teach you law, but while you are in your initial year, understand the business and operations. That would be
Wonderful.
my, I would say, tips if you want to go in-house.
Wonderful. Dr. Prasad.
I think one of the important things which I learned when I speak to students is that in their 4th and 5th year, when they call me and they say, I want to become a specialist in aviation law. And my answer usually is that after 30 years, I am still not a specialist. So to become first and foremost thing is you have to become a good lawyer first. And when, this is something which I think the universities and the colleges have to put a very strong thing is first train students to become good lawyers rather than advising them whether they should become an IP specialist or become a contract specialist or become a taxation specialist. Please make your student good lawyers first. That is the key. Because when a student who has done law is coming for an in-house role, I think the most important thing is the person has to be a generalist. The person should be able to understand corporate law as effectively as a contract law, as effectively as an IP law. It may not be so in a law firm when you're going for a job in a law firm, because and I have not worked for a law firm, I may be kindly be excused for this, but my impression is that when a student goes to work in a law firm, you tend to get a specialization, a department where you are working. But in an in-house, it has to be everything. And that is what the major difference is.
Wonderful. And thanks for sharing these thoughts. Of course, the basics have to be right first. Debosmita, you want to add? Okay. Utkarsh wants to.
I think just to add to that, and being a good lawyer, obviously what the law school is doing is great, but that's my personal opinion is, I think first year or a couple of years, I really think that every lawyer, even if he wants to go into specialization of corporate law or only contracts or say even in-house, I feel that every student should try their hand on trial courts for the first year or couple of years. I think that will help you understand the very basics, the procedures, how the court operates, what the judges thinks, tomorrow, even if you are drafting a contract, there will be something in your mind that tomorrow it might lead to dispute. How will that dispute turn out later, right? So that's something which I want to add on, that everyone should, at least for a year or two, go to the very basics, go to the trial court, may not be the High Court or Supreme Court, but the lower courts, to just see how the court processes and the basics of law are operating in India.
Great. Yes.
In the era of the questions we get whether AI is gonna impact legal and all of that, all I have to say is that when it comes to technology in law, I tell the students, please at least know please at least know the basic technology, which is Microsoft. And apart from Word, I don't think the students really know much, because I didn't know much. I have only worked on Word. It's very important that they train equally in PowerPoint and Excel. And lawyers should also know numbers very well. So reading financial information is very, very crucial, especially for an in-house lawyer. And even for any other career, whether in a law firm, in a banking, M&A, project finance, knowing numbers and understanding the company financial information is very, very important. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. And we kept to this time, so there will be a special prize for that, right? Yeah. I wish we had more time, but thank you so much for this quick conversation. I think a lot of takeaways from here. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah.